The NFL free agency is in full effect, and we've already seen a number of big moves so far this week. I'm recording this on March 17th. Davante Adams is now part of the Las Vegas Raiders. We're seeing the Baker Mayfield drama play out in real time. The Deshaun Watson sweepstakes is still going on. A number of things can still happen, but I wanted to set that drama aside and take a look at the Dallas Cowboys. Specifically CeeDee Lamb, and what can we expect of him in the 2022 season? So, looking at the moves that Dallas has currently done over the past week, the big moves, right? We've already seen Amari Cooper being traded to the Browns, Cedric Wilson moving on to Miami with his 3-year deal. There's a report out about the sense that Michael Gallup might not be ready to start the 2022 season. And then, of course, earlier today, Lyle Collins released. So with all of those moves right now, what can we expect for the Dallas offense? Well, just focusing in on the very first move with Amari Cooper being gone, there was so much overlap and redundancy between those two because their skill sets kind of matched each other, which was great for Dallas from a tactical perspective. But from a fantasy production standpoint, it was hard to differentiate the two because they worked so well together. Looking at just their target shares alone, both of them had identical target shares week in and week out. There's enough overlap. And then overall, CeeDee Lamb wound up with a 20.5% target share, Amari Cooper with a 19% target share. Air yard share, completely identical at 26.5%. The only thing that really separated the two was the fact that CeeDee Lamb spent more time in the slot. But even there, Amari Cooper was shifted inside on certain occasions. But as you can see towards the back end of the season, we saw that become a larger part of Lamb's usage. And where he thrived, really, being a top 25 in efficiency in terms of yards per route run, like from the slot, was one CeeDee Lamb. So overall, I think the removal of Amari Cooper paves the way for Lamb to become the number one pass catcher there in Dallas. But we have to think about what is the offense going to look like overall. This was a team last year with Amari Cooper, with Cedric Wilson, that was top 10 in yards per drive, EPA per play. All of those efficiency metrics that wind up generating large fantasy production for all of our pass catchers. Without those key players now being a part of their offense, can we still expect them to be top 10 in each of those metrics? It's hard for me to see that. But they were top 10 also in early down pass rate in neutral situations. So for CeeDee Lamb specifically, the volume should still be there. His primary target competition at this point is Dalton Schultz. It's him, Noah Brown. If you want to throw in the running backs, Elliott, Pollard, okay, fine. But either way, CeeDee Lamb's target competition now should be one that is less scrutinized. It's harder for me to see him having a tougher time getting to 10 targets a game and trying to manufacture touches for him, which was something that we saw was a difficult thing for them to do for some reason or another, especially in the playoffs. So looking at underdog ADP as of right now, Lamb is being drafted as about the wide receiver 9, about where he was at just this past season. After guys like Stephon Diggs and A.J. Brown, right before Jalen Waddle and DK Metcalf. I think the case to be made for Lamb at this point is that compared to Stephon Diggs, CeeDee Lamb might have a higher target count. He might have a ceiling higher than those guys just based off targets alone. If we're looking at what the Bills are currently doing and adding pass catchers, even A.J. Brown in a team that is less likely to pass, that offense runs through more play action shots, but Derrick Henry is the one that receives the highest volume, in that particular offense. So I'm willing to be aggressive on CeeDee Lamb in specific spots, and depending on how you start in the first round, on underdog. But overall, I think this is a great thing for Lamb specifically. I would be more than happy to take him slightly ahead of his ADP currently. But overall, I do think that this is something that will be a great thing for Lamb as we look towards the 2022 season. But we'll check in later to see how things happen or how things unfold for Dallas once they get to the draft. And I'll provide a second video once we hear more about free agency, the draft, so on and so forth. So if you like this video, any of the other analysis that you've seen over here at Football Guys, always drop a like, hit that subscribe button. Catch these videos, any of the other shorts you might see from the other analysts here at FBG, and I'll catch y'all in the lobby. Peace.